All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to STL History Live. My name is Aaron Pelker, and I'm a Community Engagement Coordinator at the Missouri History Museum, and I want to thank you for spending part of your Tuesday morning with us. Before we get to today's presentation on Japanese festivals, I'd like to make a few brief remarks. The first is to thank two key contributors that help make programs like this possible: city and county residents and their contributions through the Zoo Museum Tax District, and of course, our museum members. If you're already a member, thank you for your generosity. If you're not, but would like to learn more about the membership process, please check the chat feature on Zoom for a URL link to our membership page on our website. Next, I'd like to take a moment to explain one particular feature on Zoom. If you look at your toolbar on the Zoom app, you'll see the feature I'd like to highlight, the Q&A dialog box. After our presentation, which will last about 30 minutes, we'll have about 10 minutes at the end to ask questions of our presenter. You can use the Q&A dialog box on the Zoom app toolbar to submit those questions. But please wait until the end of the lecture to submit those questions, and we'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can. Also, if you must leave the presentation early, we are recording today's lecture, and it will eventually be made available on the Missouri Historical Society's YouTube channel. So with that, I'd like to introduce today's featured speaker, Shikako Usui, Associate Professor of Sociology at UMSL and Chairman of the Japan-America Society of St. Louis. So thanks for finding yourself here, and take it away, Shikako.
Thank you. I am very, very pleased to be here today and to be talking about Japanese festivals. Many of you are familiar with Japanese festival here in St. Louis that has one of the largest and oldest Japanese festivals in the country. And also, some of you know that the Japanese garden in St. Louis is the largest Japanese garden in North America. So you see here 3 photographs from the St. Louis annual Japanese festival. Portable shrine is carried by many people. Taiko drums is very typical of the beginning procession and the ceremony. And then many of you are also familiar with the Bon dance, where people wear yukata and happy coat. In Japanese, it is called happy. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the origin of Japanese festivals. There are numerous, countless, literally thousands of Japanese festivals because they are all held locally and varies in size, length, duration. But what is common is they all are hosted by local shrines and temples. And over time, in modern age, they have become bigger, more commercialized. Some became much famous nationally, internationally. Some of them remain confined to much local area, preserving much more original ways of conducting, say, a ceremony. So Japanese festival called Matsuri began as a prayer, ritual prayer and entertainment for gods and goddess. In Japan, it is known as kami. People prayed for gods and goddess for good harvest, protection from many things that are beyond control, such as epidemic, natural disasters. So thanking kami for their protection was also a very important part, not just for asking for protections, but also thanking them. And entertainment for kami was a very important part, not just a ceremonial, formal, a ritual part, but also more informal casual entertainment with lots of drinking, with lots of dancing, entertainment. Sake, for example, Japanese drink, is called sacred water for God. So with the Matsuri, sake is always served. Now, kami, as I said, is come from a Shinto religion, which is a Japanese indigenous religion. It's a very animistic religion. Japanese people believe in divine energy or spirits in the natural world and the landscape. And this is a very typical shrine. But kami is invisible, and many of them reside in, say, ancient trees, rocks, rivers, mountains. So you may have seen these ropes signifying this is where kami resides. So worship of nature spirits goes back a long time in Japan, and Matsuri promote a strong sense of community. That is very important. And also, this was a very important ways in which knowledge, customs, and important skills were transmitted from generation to generation. Matsuri today are held all 4 seasons, but of course, summer festivals, summer Matsuri are the most popular. So what I like to do today is to show you some of the major ones in Japan in different regions. Here is a map of Japan, and I'm going to show 2 famous ones from the Tohoku region, which is the north area, and then one in Kanto area where Tokyo is located. And then there are 2 Matsuri I like to introduce from the this middle area called the Chubu. And then this blue area is called the Kinki area, Kinki. This is where Osaka, Kyoto are located. And then I'm gonna go to Kyushu Island. And then there is one festival I like to introduce to you. So altogether there are 7 of them. So the first one from Tohoku area in Akita Prefecture, which is located on the left-hand side, Sea of Japan side, Akita. This Matsuri is called Kanto Matsuri. Kanto means bamboo pole and lantern. So as you can see, this is a much more modern Kanto Matsuri with a long bamboo pole and lots of lanterns supported by one pole, and then you have many other horizontal bamboo pole attached. And then you can see how skilled performers show as part of entertainment, what they can do with this. But it originated 250 years ago as asking God to protect the people from diseases. And what they did was during nighttime, people paraded the village and towns with this large bamboo pole with lanterns. That was the beginning. And today it is held in August for 3 days. And as I said, it has become more and more elaborate with skilled performers. So height of 39 feet, 110 pounds, with 46 paper lanterns are used for this festival. It's quite a sight. Next one is in Aomori. Aomori is on this side of Pacific Ocean side of Tohoku area. This festival called Nebuta. Nebuta Matsuri is also very famous, and it is a huge float of various faces, a lot of kabuki actor-like images, some mythical creatures. Again, they go around the town day and night. And this one, several descriptions about how it began. One of them is that it began as a purification ritual, that the lantern floats like a little boat with lantern was released into the river as part of purification rituals in early 19th century. Currently, this Nebuta Matsuri is held in August for 6 days. And as I said, the float has become bigger and bigger, more elaborate, and they go around the town. Next, I'd like to go to Tokyo. Tokyo has many festivals, but this one called Sanja Matsuri, meaning 3 Shrine Festival. It is one of the oldest Shinto festivals in Tokyo. Dates back to 1649 when Asakusa Shrine. This is a very famous shrine in Asakusa, which is a very old part of Tokyo. So this festival is held in May for 2 days. And then they features this portable shrine where kami resides, and then kami are carried to the town. They have these 3 gorgeous portable shrines, and they have lots of music, dancing to celebrate this Matsuri. So it is very crowded. That's very famous festival. So you can really see how crowded it is. And then when the portable shrines are parked, you can really have a closer look how gorgeous and ornate they are. And then this is carried by people. So you need a lot of men and women to go through the town. Now we are going to the middle area of Japan. Actually, this is the area I come from, a tube area. One is I like to introduce from Toyama Prefecture. Toyama is right here on the Sea of Japan side. And then another one is in Gifu, Hida Takayama Matsuri in Gifu Prefecture. These are very different festivals. Owara Kaze no Bon is like a Bon festival. It's a dance. And it began in the middle of the 18th century, again, to pray for God's protection against strong winds during the harvest, they have a lot of strong winds, and they needed special protection. And currently, this Matsuri is held for 3 days in September. It is a very quiet, elegant festival compared to other festivals where lots of noise, music, dance all goes together. Here, this one features shamisen music, and then a dance of men and women wearing these hats, thatched straw hats, and then identical yukata, and then synchronized moves. And then this is a very elegant dance, and the local villages, 11 of them, continues this festival, organized well, that since 1927, these 11 local communities were organized to preserve and continue this very old festival in Toyama, Owara Kaze no Bon. And this town is a small town with a lot of hills, and all that places you see lighted with lanterns, and then these dancers go around for 3 nights at night, and then during the daytime in town halls and then parks, they dance, they give lots of entertainment. But you can see how beautiful their dance is, the men and the women. Takayama, moving on to Takayama, this is very different. This is really a middle of Japan, became very wealthy as a commerce town, trade, and 1652, this Takayama began a Takayama festival, and it is known as one of the 3 most beautiful festivals in Japan. They feature very ornate floats. It's very expensive to have these floats, and wealthy merchants gave a lot of donations and sponsored these floats to pray for a good harvest in the springtime, and then giving thanks to gods and goddesses in autumn, fall. And some of these floats are so complex, including mechanical puppets called karakuri. Some 10 to 15 people handle strings to move these mechanical puppets, and Gifu, Takayama, is known for these 30 magnificent floats that go around the city day and night. It is beautiful. This is a little Takayama festival is very similar to Gion festival, because Gion festival was used as a Takayama model. Now Gion festival in Kyoto, moving to Kinki region, is the most beautiful and oldest major festival in Japan. It dates back to 869 as religious ceremony to appease the gods during the outbreak of an epidemic. Just like what we are going through, some really nasty disease began and the epidemic began, so they had to get special protection from the god. And the very old document shows how this was carried. And this Yasaka Shrine is the place where this Matsuri originated. And today, this Gion Matsuri is held for entire month of July. It is very large, gigantic floats as big as 80 feet in height and 12 tons in weight. And they have 30 of them representing each district, neighborhoods of Kyoto. So each neighborhood take control of these floats, maintain them, repair them, train people for this festival. So you can see how large these floats are. Some of them are like 3-story high. And then many people, even though they have big wheels, bigger than people, they pull these floats. And then music, dancing, all go together. Now the last one is in Kyushu. This is a very small village called Takachiho. Takachiho is the name of town. And this Matsuri festival is called Yokagura. Yokagura means ritual dance held at night. Now, this town in Miyazaki Prefecture is one of the site of Shinto legends. For those of you who know anything about the Shinto, the origin of Shinto religion, the beginning of Japan, how the gods and goddess created, there are many interesting places where they did different things. But in this town, there is a cave. This is known as a cave where sun goddess hid herself, and then entire country went into darkness. And people had to do something to bring back the sun goddess out of this cave. They tried many things. Gods and goddess did many things to bring the sun goddess out of a cave. One successful dance was a night-long dance, which a lot of people were entertained. They laughed, they talked with beautiful music, so that the sun goddess who was hiding in the cave could not stay there, had to come out and see what was going on. So this ritual dance that these villagers still dance today is about this story. 20 villages hold this Matsuri from November to February. Each village organizes a particular day, and then during the night, all night, they dance. And this dance consists of some 33 acts. So each act is very short, maybe about 10 minutes long. So it's only one night, but you have 20 villages to go through. And each village have, based on their custom, tradition, a slightly different arrangement. But they do this to continue for Kami's presence, praying for successful harvest, appreciating for their protection. So this ritual dance is very similar to No Theater. It's a very primitive, not modern dance with the quiet music, interesting costume, interesting face mask. So there is one or two skilled villager that makes these masks and then maintain. So it is a very old festival. So this is called Gyokagura, a ritual dance held at night in Takachiho. I like to end this presentation with the festival food, because as I said, ritual ceremony is combined with entertainment for Kami, and entertainment and food, sake. And in modern days, of course, you have all sorts of drinks, also, and then the snack food. If you go to a festival, you see these little shops opened up, selling various kind of food. And in Japan, every year they report what is the most popular snack food during Matsuri. Always top three is these three kind. One is takoyaki, yakisoba, and okonomiyaki. They are all very popular. Of course, there are regional variations which people enjoy, but takoyaki, you can see, uses a very special cooking grill. It's a round a ball like shaped snack. It's like a pancake batter is poured into this, and then vegetables and some seafood is put in to cook. And then sauce is poured over it. And then many of you have had the yakisoba noodle, pan-fried in like a huge teppan with lots of vegetables, some meat. And then okonomiyaki is like a Japanese pancake, or almost look like pizza, because there are many toppings, things that go into it, vary from a region to region. Hiroshima okonomiyaki style or Tokyo style okonomiyaki are two very famous ones. So people enjoy regional variations, how okonomiyaki or takoyaki are made. Many of you know also yakitori. This is a vegetable and meat on a skewer, grilled. This is also easy to carry, to eat. Grilled corn is also a popular type of food. You probably haven't seen in the United States, but grilled squid, as Japan is surrounded by ocean, seafood is plenty. It used to be a very popular. And then especially in summertime during hot weather, people enjoy shredded ice. This is like a Japanese version of ice cream. Or people have always enjoyed kakigori, shredded ice with different kinds of syrup poured on top. It's very delicious. I grew up with kakigori. So this is the overview of Japanese festival, and I hope you got some idea about regional variations, how different local communities held these matsuri to pray for God, to thank for their protection from diseases, natural disasters. And then people kept on to preserve these festivals. So if you have chance to visit Japan, these festivals are held throughout 4 seasons. You may be able to see something very different. Thank you. So I'd be happy to take questions now. So I think I'm waiting for Aaron to help me with question sessions.
Hi, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. We do have about 10 minutes, so just make sure you open up that Q&A dialog box on your toolbar and ask away if you have any. Well, I don't think we got any questions, which is okay. So I do want to thank everyone again for attending today's STL History Live. Thanks to Chicago for a fascinating look at Japanese festivals. Your feedback is always important to us, so we would really appreciate it if you could take our short survey. A Kobo Toolbox survey should have opened in one of your browser tabs, so keep an eye out for that when we end the session. Thanks again, and remember that you can find the full schedule of STL History Live on the Missouri Historical Society website and our Facebook page. But I do want to invite you to join us next time for our next virtual program on this Thursday evening, July 16th at 6:30 for our next lecture titled Women Supporting St. Louis. So thanks again and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.